Hola! How are you all today? I'm peeking in and seeing how it looks. Can you see me? Hi. Hi. Good morning. How are you today? Today is the solar eclipse. Total solar eclipse. Woo! And let me tell you what it feels like here. It's like if you can see the palm trees right now, they're not moving at all. The last 2 days have been so strange here, and what somebody told me is that whenever it gets really, really still here, it's because all the air is being sucked out by a storm that's coming. So I'm imagining that there's a storm coming from somewhere. But also, it's a solar eclipse too today. So today is a really special day. And I think from a spiritual point of view, if you like to look at things that way, I think there's things to talk about that too. So I'm going to stay out here for a little bit because it's so still and it's not noisy, but also it's so hot. I don't know how long I can stay out here. So, hi Diane, hi, I can see you. So this is what I want to talk about today. I want to read you what I read about what the solar eclipse means in a spiritual way. It says this. It says, eclipses create an internal transformation that ultimately results in an external transformation. Woo! Do you love that? So what do I do every single day when I'm coaching somebody or when I'm doing these live videos or when I'm doing groups is always trying to help you create what's going on inside of you to create something different externally for yourself. Hi! Let's see, who are you? Hi, Meg! Oh, goody, I'm glad you're liking my podcast. I think I'm going to go inside because I can't read everything. But I just wanted you to see this because it's very rarely can I sit out here and actually talk because it's too noisy, it's so windy. Okay, it's Transformation Day. All right, let's just say it's transformation time anytime you're ready to want to do something different in your life. And for those of you that listen to me on my podcast, thank you, Meg. Those of you that have been in my groups, thank you, Diane. This is what it's all about. What I want to talk about today in terms of transforming is how to change your insides to change your outsides, right? So outside meaning I know you want to lose weight, but here's the deal. In order to lose weight, there's lots of different ways to do it. Before you and I ever talked, the only way that I ever knew how to do it was to find a program that would help me change the way I eat. So you know I'm a lifetime Weight Watcher member. Yeah. And I did that for 20 or 30 years. And you know, I mean, lifetime just meant I went up and down the same 20, 30 pounds for 20 to 30 years until I found the program that I teach now and that I refined and made it my own so that I could teach it to you. And here is the deal. One of the things that I've learned about transformation is you've got to change your brain in order to change anything. We call it rewiring your brain. So this is what I want you to think about today in terms of exercise or even in terms of eating differently. Let's just say you want to put more fuel in your life. How do you do that? Let's just say you want to exercise more. How do you do that? First of all, if you're going to look at exercise like the worst thing that ever happened to you, it's not going to work. If you look at changing the way that you eat as all your fun is going to end and you're not going to have any fun anymore and it's going to be hard and boring. And number 5, which everybody always says to me, and I always fail, let's add that thought in, it's never going to work. So here's what I want you to think about today. How do you want to feel? Now, this is how I would think that you would want to feel when you decide that you want to eat more fuel foods or you just want to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. You want to be connected to your body. What you want is you want that connection. You want to be able to stop. And I think the easiest way to stop, or the easiest way to start an exercise program, if you want to call it that, is to feel peaceful and to feel motivated at the same time. To feel at peace with yourself and to feel motivated. Okay, so this is what I'm saying to you. What I think all of you want is you want to feel peaceful after you start your program. You want to feel good about yourself after you start the program and you see the results. And I think you have to feel this way before you start the program and see the results. So I think the result will come from what you're actually thinking to start. And you have to be aware of what you're thinking, and then you have to decide that you want to think something differently. So let me give you an example of how that would look. I'll give you two examples. Here's one example. Yoga for me. I love yoga. I've been doing yoga for 20-something years. But let me tell you something. When I first started yoga, I did not want to go. And I didn't want to, I heard it was really good for you and blah, blah. And I knew I needed to be doing something for my body and I needed to lose weight. And I heard yoga would help all that. But once I started going for a while, I actually started to feel better. Okay. Fast forward 20 years. I go and I love it. But here is the thing. I already know when I go how I'm going to feel when I'm done. Okay, and this is how I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel peaceful. I'm going to feel like I moved my body, and I'm going to feel so good about myself. I already know I'm going to feel like that. However, when I start, I could be lying in bed because I go to early yoga classes, and I don't want to get out of bed. I like the way my pillow feels. I like the way my blanket feels. And it's cool and it's comfortable, and I don't want to go. It's hot. If I listened to those thoughts, I think them. I can't tell you how many times I think them. To this day, I would never get out of bed. But here's what I do instead. I remember how I want to feel when it's over. And that is the feeling I use to get myself out of bed. Make sense? Stop telling yourself how tired you are and start telling yourself how good you're going to feel because you know you are. And it's a gift that you give yourself because you know. Let me use another example. So that's yoga for me to this day. If I went by how I felt before I started yoga, I would never go again. And what would I say? I don't feel like it. What do all my clients say? I just didn't feel like it. It's too hard. I'm not flexible. You got to watch those thoughts because they're just thoughts. I know in the minute you think to yourself, these are all the truth, no wonder. Yeah, it's comfortable in bed. But staying in bed will not give you the result that you want. And if the result is a thinner, healthier, happier, more fit body and mind, going to yoga is going to give it to you. Same thing for eating. Let's just say, I'm going to peek at you. Ooh, I lost you. Let's say the same thing for eating. I can see you now. You know what? I'm going to change this and I'm going to bring you inside with me. Come inside with me. Sorry for this. It's too hot. Come on in. I'm going to take my sunglasses off too. Come on in my house. Hi, hi, hi. I'm going to keep on the topic after I take my sunglasses off. Woo! Hi. Woo, it was really hot out there. Okay, forgive me. So I'm talking about how you want to feel when you're done before you even start. That's what I want to talk about. Okay, so let's talk about eating. Let's talk about that you are just finishing this wonderful meal and it tastes so good. And you actually notice that you're at a +2, but the food is so good. You might not ever get it again. What will people think? You're sitting with a bunch of people. What will they think? All these thoughts start running around in your head. If you have that awareness, you have a moment to decide, how do I want to feel when I'm done with this meal? Right? And here's the thing. How do you want to feel? The way I like to feel when I'm through with a meal, I like to feel that I'm at a +2. I like to feel light and airy, and I love to feel like I'm in control. That's how I like to feel. I don't like to finish a meal and go, what the heck did you do? And be at a +6 and then start telling myself that I don't have any control. I don't want to start telling myself that. That's a choice. I don't want it. I decide ahead of time how I want to feel when I'm through with a meal before I start the meal. Even though I know that some of those things are going to be, but it's going to be so good. I know that. And you know what I say to myself? Because I know how I want to feel ahead of time, I say to myself, it's okay, sweetheart. When it's time to eat again, you'll eat something wonderful and delicious again. You can even have this again. It's never like this feeling like it's going away and it'll never come back. But sometimes that's just what we say to ourselves. So this is what I want you to take away from today. How do you want to feel when you start something? How do you want to feel when you do an exercise that maybe you don't want to get up and do, but you know how you'll feel when you're done? Take that feeling and do it now. How do you want to feel when you finish a meal? You want to feel light, satisfied, and in control? Take that feeling and feel it now. Think the thoughts that will help you feel that before you start the meal. And then that's how you'll feel when you're done. Create the way you want to feel ahead of time. That's what I'm talking about today. It's Transformation Day, people. This is the beginning of transformation if you want to move your body more, or if you just want to be eating between the twos and being totally connected to your body. Today's the day to start. Thanks, guys, for coming, and I'll see you next week, and keep listening to my podcast. Bye.